kids, we didn't have our parents. We had my grandparents that raised us. Pretty much we went through a traumatic experience where my mom and dad weren't in the picture. So my grandparents had to pretty much take over. And being that the case, as I grew up as a teenager, it was really hard for them to keep up with the times, I guess, because they were so into their own time. So a lot of things were present that they didn't know or see. Basically, it all started when I started hanging out in high school. You know, yeah, the friends and people around you here in Union City are definitely an influence. Money to get Jordans and trying to make money to get champion sweaters and you know, all the hot stuff, you know, because my grandparents couldn't really make ends meet. So in a nutshell, you had to kind of get your own. And I learned that pretty quick. And especially out here, there's a lot of influences that push you in the wrong direction. Blocks that we used to hustle a lot and we used to make, you know, make shit happen. Right here. This little corner right here. This was crazy back in the day. But it does teach you to kind of appreciate what you have. Positive influences that tried to keep me in the straight and narrow, but you know, you introduce yourself to that game and it's hard to come back. It's hard to come back because the fruits and the benefits of that game are beneficial at the time, and it just kind of keeps you, you know, in that cool level, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Hope definitely comes from within. You gotta have the strength of perseverance. You gotta have the willpower to, you know, actually climb out of your negatives. But, you know, all in all, I think, you know, I don't think God helps you. I don't think, you know, the pastor on the corner helps you. I think it's more just you inside and how bad you want it. They're gonna bite you if they see that you're there, you know, looking for your fix. People don't give a fuck. You know, they will come after you, you know, and know that, you know, every little dollar you make, they're gonna take it from you. Because that's how it is. Everybody survives. Everybody has to survive. And if you're gonna survive, you know, they do it, you know, you could do it the fast way or the hard way. I mean, you just gotta, you know, be mindful of yourself and, you know, where you're at and try to stay away from that stuff. And those are the mistakes, you know, as teenagers, you know, that we make because we get, you know, drifted into that limelight of, you know, this good, you know, persona of how you can make money and da-da-da-da. And before you know it, the biggest drug dealer is the biggest crackhead. I mean, so it's a double-edged sword. It does come back to haunt. Or the people that you know, you should trust, you don't. And the people that you trust, you shouldn't. I've made mistakes, you know, I try to make them better, and that's all I can do, you know? I mean, what else is there? I think what keeps people going nowadays, you know, people like me is, you know, that, you know, in the end, you know, you have, you know, beautiful kids that strive to be the best, and, you know, it kind of like, you know, it rubs off of what you taught, and it rubs off of the things that you lived, and they, you know, kind of see the, you know, the ins and outs. And, you know, the most positive thing in my life is to have my children succeed and, you know, become, you know, what they are and are becoming. Everything on my sleeve so that, you know, my kids see the reality of what it is and what life really brings, you know, when you get caught up. Also, what it brings when you're not caught up. I mean, I think through the hustle game, I learned how to be a salesperson. Through the hustle game, you know, now I work for a Fortune 500 company. You know, I mean, so I definitely enhance that and I put it into use. The hope and the light is your kids. I mean, all in all, if you love your kids, you'll do anything and everything for them. You know, you'll try your best to, you know, keep that road narrow and straight. I mean, sometimes it gets diverted, I'm not gonna front. But, you know, most of the time, you know, what you try to do is go back to them, think of them, and, you know, put them in, you know, in the forefront of your life. And, you know, try to be a better person, you know. You know, if you want to make music, if you want to, you know, if you want to relate to, you know, negatives in your life and those positive beats, and that's a great thing because, you know, a lot of these artists out here, they take their negatives and they put it into words, they put it into song, they put it into poetry, you know, they put it into, you know, life lessons for others to kind of like, you know, come forth with. There's so many things in life that are positive that you can put in the forefront, you know, and it really, you know, it's really on you and how bad you want it. But all in all, it's still in me, you know. Never forget.